This is Albert Einstein, and let's get started with his series and his life right now. Bum, bum, bum. Dun da 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 dun dun da 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 dun dun da 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 dark ocean. Albert Einstein. Let's get started, shall we? Dun da da dun da da dun 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 da da dun da da dun da da dun 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 da da dun 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 da da dun dun da da dun 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 da da dun dun da da dun 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 da da dun 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 da da dun 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 da da dun dun dun. Bum bada bum bada bum 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 bada bum bada bum bada bum 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 bada dun dun da dun da da dun da da dun dun da da dun da da dun 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 dun. Alright, hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on the channel. And today we talk about Albert Einstein. This are past him. Oh, I got a new cursor. This is awesome. Alright, let's get started. For one thing, these are past Albert Einsteins. This is also the dead Albert Einstein with the famous tongue out. And let's get started. Firstly, he was born on March 14th, Pi Day, which was the day he was born on and the day Stephen Hawking died. And also, there is a very, 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 very interesting story about his life. When he was 3 years old, or maybe he was 4. Well, however old he was, that was when he started to talk. Gobble, 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 gobble. Because a soup was hot. Gobble. Ouch! That hurts. He went to a Catholic school, even though he was Jewish, and even though he was Jewish, they went to a Catholic school. And with this in mind, it sort of complicated things up, and they started being mean to him. Wah, 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 wah. But then, well, he did fight back. He didn't fight back. He thought peace was the best way to do everything, and so, yeah. And so eventually, I used a lot of sources for this, by the way. Eventually, when he did go to school, and eventually became a professor himself. Wait a second. Yep, definitely not what I was looking for. And so now that's that. Let's talk about Einstein. Let's talk a bit about Einstein. Wait, let me just change the color. Oh, well, never mind. Good. And now let me explain to you the E equals mc squared. This formula is what made him famous. E equals mc squared means energy is equal to the mass times the speed of light squared. And that is the relationship between energy and mass. Then mass is equal to the energy divided by the speed of light squared. Also proves that. And now, basically, this is what's happening. how was this proved? Well, basically there was basically a solar eclipse. Let me show you. Let me show you. Where in the world is that shape? Oh, here it is. Yep, that'll do. And now for the filling in. So there was basically a solar eclipse. And I have to draw it while I'm talking because for some reason it never shows whenever you use a highlighter. Anyways, there was a solar eclipse. And then for that, people were able to take pictures of the other stars in the sky. And eventually, after the eclipse was over, there was almost nothing left of the ways that Newton's own series of gravity could even prove that everything worked out as it is. And that is one of the most fundamental theories of physics. Of physics and quantum physics too. For as long as I remember, E equals mc squared was one of the best and most known equations of all time. And Albert Einstein himself created it, which is one of the reasons why it's so important to know about it in physics class. The following books I just showed you are all the books that I used to make this video. And now this book is a very special one because it now has its own film series on Netflix. This is not an advertisement, I'm just telling you. I mean, I watched it, it was pretty good. Very, very good. I highly recommend it. And now that that's over, this is the end of this episode. If you guys learned something new about Einstein, then there is something I will have to tell you. Einstein may have been a Jew, and the Nazis themselves may have been like jerks. But one thing that I do know about Einstein is that when he did come to America, he was welcomed and he was the big superstar. The first genius superstar, to be honest. And that is the end of this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you guys did enjoy this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you then. Shannon out. Peace. What but a what but a what but but a what but but a what 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 what